EA Sports is proud to present PGA Tour coverage. Hello again and welcome, Rich Lerner, alongside my friend Frank Nobilo. We're here in Orlando, Florida, at the house that Arnold built, the Bay Hill Club and Lodge. Frank, what are some of the toughest shots out on this golf course?
Second shot into 8 comes to mind when you've got that sort of long water carry to a very thin green. Probably only a club or so deep there, so it's very hard to get that to land soft. 17 and 18 are always difficult for any level of play. 17, the green is angled slightly to the right. Even though you're coming from an elevated tee, it's tough to judge the right club and get the ball to land softly. And of course, there's always the finishing hole that has to be navigated. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. So that sets up a tougher second shot, missing the fairway with the drive, now in the rough. And the second shot now, this from 170 yards. Appears to be what they call a commercial play, very solid. On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Just a bit offline here, Frank, but not too bad.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the wind or just the lie there. Should be okay.
Just want to nestle this one down to within a couple of feet. Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read. And missed out on that second part. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
This from 7 feet. That's not how you picture it, Frank, when you step on that first tee.
No, you'd like to go back to that first tee right now and start again.
This would give him the par. And so just getting started, even par so far. Hard to be perfect in this game. That's a bogey. Here at the 231-yard par 3 second, Frank, pretty good hole.
It certainly is, Rich. The carry on the right side's a little shorter, but if you're going to take it down the left side, you've got to fly that ball at least another 20 yards.
Frank, this one is veering far to the left. In the thick stuff.
Thick? It's brutal out there.
And it is not looking like a good lie. Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. And he's made it onto the green. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. That had to really hurt Frank because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
That's a par, and that keeps the scorecard clean, still even for the round. So, 2 over par for the round. Par 4 third here at Bay Hill. This is a hole where you do not want to miss left. 434 yards and plenty of water.
Don't look left, don't hit it left, don't play left, don't go left.
That's in the fairway. Frank, this one's offline.
There's rough and thick stuff over there.
We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot.
I mean, this skill, and that was sublime.
Just good hands, coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position. Spieth settles in over his birdie putt. 1 under early in the round. Getting set now over the putt. Just a couple of feet. 2 over for the day. .561-yard par 5 fourth. Frank, a chance to make 4 and maybe even an eagle 3.
Yeah, that green's just raised a little bit. So if you had a good drive in there and you're going with a slightly shorter club, big advantage.
He's going to have to find something, Frank, other than the rough.
Yeah, he's hitting it right and he's hitting it left, but when you've got to go out of both barrels, the game becomes hard. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. He just blasted that one down the fairway, out there about 325 yards. Well, this is the kind of strong wind that will really test a player. Frank did the prudent thing there, didn't he?
Yeah, in the end, really, you could have turned that into a disaster. Instead, actually a good chance, really, to perhaps get away with par.
That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Settles in over the putt. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
So, 1 over par for the round. Did the job right there. Frank, at the fourth, we pulled the hammer out. Here, maybe it's a scalpel?
Well, it just depends. A little trailing breeze. A drive is not always a bad play here. 367 yards to the front. There's a little kick forward. So, wind behind your back, almost worth a go.
Headed for the bunker? And the tee shot ends up in the bunker. Right where they were aiming, in the fairway. Frank, nice to have a short iron into a par 4 here at Bay Hill, but still no guarantee that you'll make the birdie or even par.
But a reward for a good one, exactly the way you've described it. This is one hole that's a swing hole. Hit a good shot in here, you're going to have inside 10, 15 feet for a birdie. Make a mistake, then all of a sudden you're scratching your head. How did I make 5?
Frank, what are the problems posed with a fairway bunker shot?
He's got to hit it nearly perfect, Rich, because the bunker's going to magnify any mistake he makes. This is where you really have to focus on great contact.
Mishit, wrong club. What happened there, Frank?
All of the above, maybe. It's a little bit of a head scratcher. It wasn't that hard a shot.
He'd settle for par here.
And an awkward little bunker shot. Just splash it out, let the ball run towards the flag.
Spieth over a par putt. Nothing wrong with that par putt. This putt for par. Par for McIlroy, but you're just waiting for that moment when he hits that accelerator and pulls away. Frank, talk to us about the 6th hole.
I don't want to. It's too difficult.
Why not?
It's too hard. It's too difficult. John Daly made 18.
But that's not such a bad score. If you break it down, that's
Break it down for one hole. It
3
broke him
pars
down.
and an eagle. This one doesn't look good.
There's water over there.
Frank, they threw him a life vest. He's back on dry land.
And I hope this time he swings, he doesn't have the water wings on.
3rd shot now after the last one found the deep blue.
Yeah, you can still minimize the damage here. It's only one bad shot that you got punished for. I'm loving that balance.
This is some drive. I'm reminded of the old Phillies baseball announcer, Harry Callis, who used to say, "That ball is out of here." And it looks like it's in the rough there, Frank.
It might not be as bad as it looks.
This requires a lot of speed through the ball.
Good recovery shot. Couldn't make the green, but at least he's back in play.
Played the smart shot right there. This could be a huge momentum swing here, Frank.
Yeah, one more good swing, and he's going to have an eagle putt coming up. I know you don't want to get ahead of yourself, but it was well on the cards.
Not quite where he wanted it, but it is on the green, and that's not too bad. Let's see what the dominant #1 player can do. Rory McIlroy now on the approach shot. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read. And missed out on that second part. Makes the putt and moving in the right direction. 2 under par. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. So 2 over par for the round. Well, you're breathing a sigh of relief. Your round wasn't sunk at the par 5 6th, and now you come to this par 3. It's just a little under 200 yards.
Yeah, aiming at the middle of the green's not a bad thing here, Rich. You can always putt to the corners and have a birdie chance.
You take 3 and walk off this hole to the 8th?
You could get a little greedy. You know, a tee shot in the middle of this green is not too bad. You'll still have a birdie putt.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Frank, this is a cross-country putt. He'll have a go at it, though, for birdie. We'll see.
There's no backing down here. This is going to go up and down and all over the place, but a chance to go in.
Wow, I thought he made that. Came to the putt, excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, a little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important that this one goes in.
So the short miss, and those are painful. See if Spieth can knock this in for his par. A good effort and a good par putt. Par attempt here. Two over for the day. Now at the 8th, and Frank, this really is a clever design, fun hole to play.
Very pretty hole. That bunker down the left, just over 300 yards. Ideally, you just work it off that bunker.
Well, this one has a chance to be really good.
Oh, that's it. New member of the 300-yard club.
Good poke right there. Frank, he is one of the longest hitters in the game, but at some point, you have to hit a fairway.
Yeah, he's certainly not the straightest. I think that was the bit you're going to put in the middle.
So Frankie is leaning, and it appears as though this one's headed a bit right.
Yeah, just came out of it.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Long putt here. This will require a good touch. Not very happy with that one. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. So, with that, 3 over par now for the round. Over the putt, this is Jordan Spieth. With authority, count it as a par and 2 under. It's a consistent theme here at Bay Hill, if you can carry it 300 yards.
Bay Hill always favors the longer hitter.
Excellent position and just a huge shot.
Oh, and it gets a good kick. It's only in the first cut.
Not too
That's
bad.
not too bad.
Frank, I like the way he sort of starts his swing a little bit on the outside and then drops it right on plane.
Should be safely on deck.
Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. Frank, this birdie putt is from downtown.
Well, if you want to build a skyscraper, you've got to knock a few of these in.
Tough game, Frank. You can hit 300-yard drives and miss 3-foot putts.
Yeah, there's the ecstasy, and that's the agony.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
Well, you can see the golfer is just boiling right now after that miss and a drop shot here at the 9th. So a tester from 4 feet. It happens sometimes, Frank. They don't all drop.
No, but you try telling him right now.
This would be a good time to reverse the slide. 5 over par on the day. Clean this up with a tap. Did the job right there. Back here in Orlando, Florida at the Bay Hill Club and Lodge. Frank, we're getting set for the back 9. How do you get off to a good start?
Well, it's one of the shorter par 4s here, Rich. Dogleg right. Good drive. Just a short on here. Common thread here. Rough, rough, rough.
Wrong way again. Well, the tee shot has landed in the bunker. Frank, I think that's going to the bunker.
Looks like it.
Frankie's managed to hit it in the rough yet again.
Yeah, this is hard to imagine. You know, the fairways aren't that narrow today.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
That's still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
Frank did the prudent thing there, didn't he?
Yeah, in the end, really, you could have turned that into a disaster. Instead, see a good chance, really, to perhaps get away with par.
Been this way all day. Airtight, no mistakes, solid shot.
And yet another green in regulation.
Frank, you like his chances to walk away with a par here?
Well, with a good shot, Rich, yeah, that's certainly on the cards in that. And you think you just write a par down at the end of the hole, don't tell anyone about it. It certainly won't affect the scorecard at the end of the day. So that's the goal right here.
And getting ready for the putt. That had to really hurt Frank because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Routine stuff for Rory. That's a par. This to surrender. Only one shot. So a drop shot. Now to the 11th with water left. Bunkers on the right. Frank, what's the key here?
Well, too often people just look at the scorecard and they go, well, it's over 400 yards. I have to hit driver. You don't have to hit driver at 11. Something in the fairway just short of that second bunker. And it sets up, 6 or a 7 iron.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. This shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
Oh, look out. This could be wet, Frank.
It's heading towards the hat.
Frank, not easy to keep your eye on the target when you've just splashed down.
Yeah, but on the flip side, too, one bad shot doesn't have to lead to 2.
This now the 4th shot after the last one was in the water.
Yeah, just somehow just get it on the green.
Well, this one is offline just a bit. Look out. And that one is going to end up in the rough.
Well, that's a little absurd, that, Rich. That shot wasn't that hard, but it's come up well short.
Didn't appear committed through impact. And he's set up for his 4th shot here, looking to get it on the green with this. Oh, no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone. And it was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Frank, it's not about getting the ball close to the hole. From that spot,
well, he had no chance to get it close. I thought he had very, very, very little chance of getting it on the green. So given that, that was a very good shot. It's at sneaky distance. Well, we'll never know if that had gone in. because it never made it.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Time to regroup. That's a double bogey. It has been frustrating. 6 over par already. Frank, the par 5s here at Bay Hill so important. What's the 12th like?
570-odd yards. Tee it high, let it fly.
And the tee shot ends up in the bunker.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Well, he pays a price for that.
Yeah, when you don't see the top of the ball in the rough, you know it's not sitting pretty. You're going to need a bit of force to extract one out of there. Good recovery shot. Couldn't make the green, but at least he's back in play.
Played the smart shot right there. All right, Frank, second shot.
Yeah, it looks like a good lie. Just take maybe half a club more than the distance allows. Still got to check the wind. Don't have to fly the ball all the way to the flag from here.
Not what he wanted, but he's headed to the beach. So young and so accomplished already. Jordan Spieth, ready with his approach. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Not close, but not bad either. That one's about 25 feet away. Routine stuff here, Frank, from the bunker.
You just got to be careful of that lip in front of him with his third shot coming up.
Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
How does that not go in?
Amazing. Stroke looked good. Line looked good. Just did not take that final break.
He has this putt for birdie. Oh, I thought he had that. So early on the backside here at the 12th hole, missed opportunity. And he makes it for par. Six over for the day. Frank, this is an interesting hole. It's a par 4 13th, and it isn't necessarily a driver off the tee. What are the options?
Yeah, you break it down. 250 off the tee, leaves 120. There's nothing wrong with playing the hole that way. Get a little over ambitious here and run out of fairway. That second shot over water. Whoa.
Not quite what he wanted. Tee shot is in the bunker. Setting up for the shot from the sand.
Oh, this is heading in the wrong direction.
Uh-oh. So toweled off, dried off, and ready to go.
Yeah, let's hope this swing he hasn't still got the floaties on.
Playing his fourth shot after the third was wet. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
He'll take that one all day long. Very solid, about 15 feet away. Frank, you like his chances to walk away with a par here?
Well, with a good shot, Rich, yeah, that's certainly on the cards in that. And you think you just write a par down at the end of the hole, don't tell anyone about it. It certainly won't affect the scorecard at the end of the day. So that's the goal right here.
Either misjudge the... Well, this is always one of the toughest moments in any round. You've made a mistake, you hit it OB, you're disappointed, but you have to regroup, you have to focus, and try to get this next one in play. Now playing the fifth because it was out of bounds on that previous shot. Well, Frank, it's our job to get excited.
You can't when you leave it short, though.
I'm sad.
He's making my job hard.
So, Frank, he'll take a drop here.
Yeah, he'll take his medicine, take his penalty shot. The hole's not over yet.
Frank, this game will drive you crazy.
Yeah, you can do so many things right, and then just something so simple, completely wrong.
So, with that, 3 over par now for the round. Locked in on the read and the speed. Well, you almost lose count at this point. Safe to say, not under par. In fact, well over par. Safely aboard. Second shot. Good look at the green. Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
That was a good run right there. Almost went in.
At least he's seen the line as it went past the hole. So just replicate that on the way back.
In for par. Spieth has this for par. Hasn't been easy, but he'll take it. That's a par. 3 over for the day. Now at the 15th, big dog leg right here. What's the best way to go, Frank?
Really down the left side. It's very tempting to try and hit it across that bunker, but not only do you have to carry the bunker, you've also got to carry those little shrubs down the right side.
Oh, look out, Frank. Where's this one headed?
This is definitely rough, Rich, off the tee. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. A great way to start a hole, nicely placed in the fairway. Frank, how frustrating can it get playing into strong winds?
Well, it's going to magnify every bad shot you hit, but it's also going to separate the good ones from the rest of the field.
Frank, this one looks like it might have a postage stamp on it. Airmail City.
Yeah, lick it. Send it.
Frank, in golf, as we know, there's short grass and there's long grass. We all want to be in that short grass, but it doesn't always work out that way. So what's the most important element from the shot, from the rough?
You have to be a little bit more conservative first and foremost, because you can't guarantee a perfect strike out of the long grass. So therefore you have to look around, around the greens, maybe short, to the right, to the left, and realize what's involved. And also just give yourself a slightly bigger target.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Just a little too much juice on that birdie putt, Frank.
It was bold, very bold.
Just a couple of feet. Boy, that hurts right there, Frank.
Yeah, he's got to knuckle down now, though, because, we've seen it before, Rich. 2 putts turn into 3, 4. So make sure you can limit the damage here.
Those are painful from that distance.
Yeah, just another one added to the card. Big mistake.
Everything has gone wrong today. Just continues to be ugly. This putt for par. 3 over for the day. Is this a good risk-reward par 5?
It's more about the second shot here. It's probably the most demanding second shot on the golf course.
That one is bunker bound, it looks like. And the tee shot ends up in the bunker. That appeared to be a good strike right there, Frank.
Oh, good. It's just towering. Look at that hanging in the sky.
Wow, that is a monster drive down there, about 315 yards.
Hazard?
Maybe wet. Frank, they threw him a life vest. He's back on dry land.
And I hope this time he swings, he doesn't have the water wings on.
So this is his 4th shot after the last one found the water.
It's not all over, but right now, too, he's staring down the barrel of a very bad hole. Second shot.
Just in the first cut of rough, not a bad lie. The only issue is he might get a jumper here. Coming out of the rough and right up next to the hole. See if Spieth can knock this in for his par. Frank, that looked good to me. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. That's a bogey. And drops it in. Frank, par 3/17 here at Bay Hill. How difficult is this hole?
This one takes your best tee shot, Rich. Otherwise, you're just looking at 4 or 5.
Frank, looks like he came over just a little bit.
Yeah, that one wasn't pretty, but it's still gonna get away with it.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Well, he'll have to get up and down from the bunker to save his par. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
that's not the way you wanted to start out the backside here.
Yeah, you can't afford from inside 10 feet. You feel like you have to make those, and I mean, they really sting when they miss.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Well, that's disappointing. He misses the par putt, and he'll have this for bogey. This would be a good time to reverse the slide. 5 over par on the day. Clean this up with a tap. Did the job right there. Frank, a chance now to make an imprint here at one of the famous courses on tour at Bay Hill, the final hole. This is where Tiger has done it so many times, where Gomez holed out. What a great hole.
Well, the last hole of a great 3-hole stretch. If you've got through 16, somehow got through 17, you've still got one more hurdle.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Well, that is a ball-striking clinic right there. Another dazzling approach shot. Pretty close. This won't hurt him. He'd love to get this one. Big putt for birdie. Pretty good stroke right there. Just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
Wow, I thought he made that. Frank, let's hope he doesn't make double bogey now.
That's the saddest coming out in you, Rich.
Oh my goodness, how did he miss that? Been a rocky round. Locked in on the read and the speed. Good roll, solid. That's a par. Frank, always nice to get in a round here at the Bay Hill Club and Lodge, the house that Arnie built.
Yeah, it's never easy. Water, so much in play here. Greens firm, fast. Great test.
So for all of us here at EA Sports, I'm Rich Lerner for Frank Nobilo. Until next time. Today's coverage brought to you by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports and Golf Channel on NBC. Pleased as always to be at the house that the King built, Arnold Palmer, at Bay Hill Club and Lodge in Orlando, Florida.
The golf course that's produced many a great champion. Tiger Woods has won it a whopping 8 times. Ernie Els has won it twice. This is a place that tests the best in the game.
Well, the tee shot has landed in the bunker. Digs in, ready for the bunker shot.
Yeah, second shot here. Just try and aim a little bit behind that ball, an inch or two.
Down, little Sheba, down! So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here. Another good swing, another good approach shot.
Rory McIlroy looking to take advantage with this putt. And so just getting started, even par so far. Back to the second hole here at Bay Hill. Frank, long par 3.
And that green slopes so much from right to left, so you can actually use the contours of the green here.
Headed for the bunker? Well, he'd like to have that one back. In the bunker.
Still a chance to get it up and down.
You know how to play this shot, Frank, right? You keep your chin up, you look down your nose at the ball, you have to pick it cleanly, and keep your head still. So a tester from 4 feet. Drops it, and he's at even par. Frank, now to the third hole, and where's the trouble here? That's fairly obvious, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's one thing you don't want to remind yourself of. There's a bunker all the way down the right side. That's a good place to aim. Off the flight path again. Rich, do you think we should tell him this fairway out there?
Yeah, he's been in the rough all day long. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. This one's looking good. Frank, how good was that just to get it on the green?
Well, from that shot there, you would have thought for sure that there was no chance he had of finding the green. That was some shot.
Frank, he took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
561-yard, par 5 for it. Frank, a chance to make 4 and maybe even an eagle 3.
Yeah, that green's just raised a little bit, so if you had a good drive in there and you're going with a slightly shorter club, big advantage.
Well, this one's sweet, Frank.
Super. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. Well, those are good numbers right there. 320, 320 yards. Just crushed it in the fairway. Frank, what's so compelling about rivalries in sports is that athletes need each other if they're going to go to great heights. Joe Frazier needed Muhammad Ali to solidify his legend. Jack Nicklaus probably needed Arnold Palmer to go to a place that he had not been. And I think that's true across the board as we look at rivalries in sports.
I think it defines careers, Rich. It's not until those players retire that they realized how important it was to have that foe. You know, so often we're living in the present like we are now with Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy. And it's not for years to come that we'll realize the sport wouldn't have been the same with one without the other. And a tough break.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Routine stuff for Rory, that's a par. Frank, now to the 5th. What's the strategy here at this shorter par 4?
Well, if you want to flex your muscles, Rich, take it over that left bunker. With a little trailing breeze, you might even get close to the green.
That one is bunker bound, it looks like. You don't want to make a habit of it. In the bunker again off the tee. Frank, just a slight miss off the tee. He's in the fairway bunker.
Yeah, just really got to pick the right club once again. Sometimes you take a little bit more club out of the fairway bunker, choke down.
His second shot. Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance really for birdie, but really it was a rather poor approach shot.
So close.
And yet it still counts for another shot. Even par currently.
Still even par for the day. Frank, talk to us about the 6th hole here at Bay Hill. Intimidating to look at as
I don't want to talk about it, Rich. I don't like the look of the hole. It's too tough. It intimidates everybody.
I can't imagine what players would be feeling walking up to this tee box.
Yeah, stand there. You'll find out.
Frank, one of our colleagues at Golf Channel, Brian Hammond's always liked to say, keep it in the short grass. It is nice to play from the fairway.
The game's so much easier from the fairway. Less decisions to be made. You don't have to worry about a flyer or the lip in front of the bunker or a tree. The game almost appears straightforward from there.
Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
Yeah, you wonder what he was thinking on that.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Makes the putt and goes to 1 under. Well, after that beast of a par 5, Frank, it is time to finesse one up on the green here at the par 3-7, just a little under 200 yards.
There's a big mound in the middle of this green. The flag's above it, and then you've got to be really precise. If it's short of it, you can use that mound as a backstop.
Frank, looks like he came over just a little bit.
Yeah, that one wasn't pretty, but it's still gonna get away with it.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Looks like he just misread that. And getting ready for the putt. That's how you maintain momentum and make those putts for par. Now at the 8th, and Frank, this really is a clever design, fun hole to play.
Very pretty hole. That bunker down the left, just over 300 yards. Ideally, you just work it off that bunker.
Let's see what the dominant #1 player can do. Rory McIlroy now on the approach shot. Offline, and I think that one's headed for the rough. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
Frank, that reminds you of maybe what, the greatest bunker player of all time? Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. So close. Well, that's disappointing. He misses the par putt, and he'll have this for bogey. Trying to limit the damage here. This putt is for bogey. So with that, the score is now at even par. Final hole now of the front side. It's a 474-yard par 4. And Frank, you've played it before. What works best here?
Well, ideally a nice little draw off the tee. But the hole's quite weird because the tee shot shapes to the left, and yet the green goes the other way.
And now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. That ball's sitting up. You can bring it in high. You can bring it in low. The choice is yours. There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
In the greenside bunker, Frank, little bit of a problem.
Well, it's a big green. He's managed to get it smack bang in the middle of it.
He can really get red hot with a putter. Let's see what McIlroy does. That's a par, and that keeps the scorecard clean, still even for the round. Back here in Orlando, Florida, at the Bay Hill Club and Lodge. Springtime in Florida can mean only one thing, Frank. Perfect golf weather. How do you get off to a perfect start on this backside?
Well, this is one of the few holes that actually shapes to the right. And most of the holes at Bay Hill are dogleg lefts. For the faint of heart, just sort of flick an iron down there, just sort of short of the bunkers. If you're feeling a little ambitious, just take it over that one on the right. Just a wedge in here.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Not close, but not bad either. That one's about 25 feet away. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
So a tester from 4 feet. Those keep the round going, those par putts. Now to the par 4 11th, just a shade under 440 yards. Where are the difficulties here, Frank?
The water down the left, but the hole keeps going that way, almost in a semi-horseshoe fashion. 2 bunkers down the right, they always catch the stray tee shot, but once again, you don't have to hit driver here. You've got to get that ball in play.
That was just a beautiful drive. He hit it solid and right in the middle. Let's see what McIlroy does now with his second. Early part of this back 9 and a good approach shot. And now we'll have this for birdie.
Really? This is an awkward length. Now putt for par.
Has it. Frank, now we're at the 574-yard, par 5 12th. How critical are the par 5s if you're trying to put a score on the board here at Bay Hill?
They're crucial, Rich, because the par 4s are very, very difficult. So anytime you get a par 5, really got to take advantage of it.
Excellent position and just a huge shot. Nice position, short grass, second shot. That one is bunker bound, it looks like. Well, he'll have to get up and down from the bunker to save his par. Just hasn't been able to avoid the bunkers today. Again, in the sand.
They're like a magnet today.
Safely aboard.
Even par, currently.
Has it, and that is birdie number 2 for the round. At the par 4 13th now, Frank, what's the key here?
Really avoid those 3 bunkers, Rich. You don't want a fairway bunker shot over water for your second shot.
You don't want to make a habit of it in the bunker again off the tee. Well, we've got about 135 yards left.
This looks like it's going to find the target.
Well, that's how you play the game, right there. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Almost. Wow. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it's going to hurt the cause.
14th hole, Frank, more than 200 yards, par 3. This is no picnic.
No, it plays a little longer than that too, slightly uphill. You've got to carry the ball onto the front of the screen. It will not run up. Well, it was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Now from the bunker.
Yeah, just a little splash out on this par 3.
A beautiful, soft touch out of the bunker. That's Mickelson-esque. Shouldn't be a problem here. Steady, solid, and at 1 under par right now. Frank, deep in the round at the 15th, you need to maybe make something happen. How difficult is that with such a huge dogleg here?
Once again, make sure you know the distance to carry the bunker or run out. You got to play to your strength.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Frank, what are you looking to do with this approach shot here at 15?
Anytime the flag's on the front, Rich, it's basically green light special. When the flag starts to get pushed towards that back area of that green, it starts to get narrower and narrower and narrower. And that's where you've got to be a little careful.
Headed for the bunker, I think. Not his best shot, and now he'll have to deal with a bunker.
Yeah, they say the hardest shot in golf, the next one.
So getting set for a greenside bunker shot. Frank, when I think of the great bunker players in the history of the sport, I think about Gary Player, Seve Ballesteros, who you knew so well. What did they do that made them so effective on these greenside bunker shots?
They had an attitude for a start that was different. For them, it was they saw possibilities. And they would imagine the amount of sand. Remember, because this is the only shot in golf where you don't have to hit the ball first. So they would really choose the amount of sand behind the ball, whether that was an inch or two. Aim the club at that and made sure they followed through.
Back on the tee here at the 16th, it's a par 5, bunkers, water all along this hole. Doesn't look to be a gimme par 5.
Now, you've got to have your wits about you. If you just look at the yardage, you'll think it's the easiest par 5 on the golf course. And then, before you know it, it's got you. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. What a drive. Just tattooed that. Okay, the second shot now at this par 5. Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he's thinking on that.
Frank, chip shot here from just on the fringe. You like to hit this the way you would a putt?
Yeah, I normally take a club that's going to land just on the flat surface of the green, then run from there. Often people take too much loft.
On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Good putt, and now 1 under par. Frank, par 3 17th here at Bay Hill. How difficult is this hole?
This one takes your best tee shot, Rich. Otherwise, you're just looking at 4 or 5.
Headed for the bunker. And yet again, he has hit it off the tee and into the bunker. Looking to splash this softly onto the green. Did the smart thing there, Frank. Took his medicine, back out onto the fairway.
Oh, that was solid, Rich. This one's safely on.
A makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under par. So with that, the score is now at even par. Frank, now one of the signature holes here at Bay Hill, the 18th.
Hole's got a little easier over the years with the new equipment. People getting it out there a little further, so you've got a shorter club in, but you've got to be wary of that run out on the right side.
Frank, this is a way to make golf easy when you can hit it that deep.
Oh, I'm going to say, I know that first number's a 3. I'm guessing the second one's a 2. Let's call it 320.
Moving a little bit to the right. So maybe a nice way to finish up with a good approach here to the 18th and a good chance for birdie. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Solid effort today, round of 72. Frank, that wraps up another great day of golf here at the Bay Hill Club and Lodge. Always enjoy it.
Yeah, it's always a great test. Win, lose, or draw, you've played the King's Golf Course.
Couldn't have said it better myself. From all of us here at EA Sports, I'm Rich Lerner. For Frank Nobilo, until next time. Presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Well, the waiting is over. We are about to get started here today. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. We'll be calling the action for you. Frank, the golfers look ready to go, so any kind of player could win here.
Yeah, the long hitters have to take advantage of the par 5s because that's their gift. But the other holes are extremely well balanced, and you take position over power.
Well, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Frank, you want to get off to a good start. This approach shot here at the first is important.
It is. Two distinct levels on this green. The high side on the left there and the lower side on the right. If you're trying to keep that ball a little left of middle, you've got to be careful of that bunker on the left.
On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. Wow, I thought it was going in just off the mark by a fraction. Just a little tap in here. Did the job right there. Nice scoring opportunity here. 532-yard, par 5 second hole, Frank. Considered one of the easier holes on the golf course. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you can just cut this in half. 532 yards divided by 2. Really, it's 2 tee shots over 260 yards. For these guys, nothing more than a 3 or a 4 wood. And that's why all you need off the tee is just a 3 wood with a little draw.
You disappointed if you don't make 4 here?
Not disappointed, but obviously you lose at least half a shot on the field.
Well, it looks as though they're going to need to use all their strength to sort of hack it out of that rough, missing it off the tee here. Well, he pays a price for that.
Yeah, when you don't see the top of the ball in the rough, you know it's not sitting pretty. You need a bit of force to extract one out of there.
So missed the fairway, and now he's back where he needs to be.
Yeah, minimize the problems.
So third shot now for Rory McIlroy. Well, that's how you do it. Hit it close, take the pressure off that putt. That one should be no problem. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Even par early on. Frank, a nice mix of holes to start. So here we go with a par 3 at the third.
Very narrow at the front of the screen, and that bunker too, you don't actually see it off the tee, the back left bunker, and it sneaks into that left side. So if that flag is on the left, just be careful. In the direction of the sand.
Looks like it. Well, the tee shot has landed in the bunker. Well, bunker play is really about technique and feel. The two greatest ever are probably Gary Player and Seve Ballesteros. Seve actually was so good, he was so skilled, that he could open up a 3-iron, that's right, a 3-iron, on a short bunker shot from a green side bunker and splash it to a couple of feet as if he had just used a 60-degree sand wedge. Amazing. Par for McIlroy, but you're just waiting for that moment when he hits that accelerator and pulls away. Frank, how difficult is it to access the hole location if you miss the fairway here at 4?
Well, if you miss it left, I've got to say the lesser of two evils is to be in the bunker on the right. Oh, if this is up, it's good.
Good tee shot right in the short grass. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special. Should be safely on deck.
Good chance now after that approach shot for a birdie.
He was so precise coming in, and the measurement is 9 feet away.
Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Right in the fairway and 180 yards from here. Third shot, looking for a good one. That one was running so hot. Okay, good shot on the dance floor.
Even par currently.
So with that, 1 over par. Frank, this isn't a hole that sort of jumps out at you the way, say, 17 does.
Yeah, a lot of times people will just sort of gloss over it, but anytime you get a par 4 into 400 yards, it's a great opportunity. But once again, a positional hole. Take advantage of it.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Let's see what McIlroy does now with his second.
One of the things I think that's captivated the audience now with Rory McIlroy is he's doing things that we thought only one other player could do, and that's Tiger Woods. When you can streak fields in a major championship by nearly double figures, that's when you're in a class in your own. And I know that's stating the obvious.
He has a gear, Frank, that I don't think other players have. You might be rolling along at 95 miles per hour and you think you're moving, and you look to your right and you blink and go, who was that? Somebody just went by me, and he's doing 125 and make it look easy. This kid is really special. Came to the putt, excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, a little change in the attitude right now. You've let one go. You've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in. I'm loving that balance.
Not the longest, but not bad. 295 yards in the fairway. Let's see what the dominant #1 player can do. Rory McIlroy now on the approach shot. That one is bunker bound, it looks like. Not enough on that one.
Yeah, it just seemed to baby it.
Frank, there's nothing like catching a bunker shot just perfectly. Splashes out, lands softly, and just runs up to that hole.
Yeah, it's like 3D. There's the component in the strike where it's going to land, and then the third part of it is how much will it roll.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Good effort, just didn't drop. So a tester from 4 feet. Slipping just a bit, another bogey, and now 2 over par. TPC Sawgrass, the fabled stadium course designed by the legendary Pete Dye. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. Here at the 8th, Frank, most players are happy walking out of here with a par 3.
And the reason why, it's a very narrow entry to this green. It's just littered with bunkers around, left, behind, to the side, and even short. Once you get further up the green, though, even though this is sort of an undulating green, it starts to widen up. So don't get trapped into just looking at the front of this hole.
Great shot coming out of that bunker right there.
Showing some skills today.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either.
You'd like that one again. Oh, that even caught me by surprise, Rich. I thought par was in the bag.
This now for bogey. So with that, 3 over par now for the round. Frank, the 9th is really a good par 5, isn't it?
There's so many options here. Just play it away, sort of 3-wood it down there, then go to the right and sort of wedge it on the green. But it's very tempting, especially in the right wind conditions. And that's if they're coming over your shoulder for a right-hander from right to left. Then this par 5 is very reachable.
That ball's run out certainly over 300 yards, Frank. Call it about 310. Frank, this one's not looking good.
Yeah, certainly not down the fairway line, heading toward the rough.
Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. That is classy.
He had a chance of going in.
Starting to climb back at +2. Now on to one of the most exciting back nines in golf here at the TPC Sawgrass and the stadium course. Let's begin at number 10. Frank, and what do you make of this hole?
It's another one where you're just trying to fit the tee shot in the fairway there. It's not a driver, just something that stays right. And of course, we've seen a lot of people stray here down the left side. Who can forget Mickelson when he won his Players Championship, hitting that phenomenal 7-iron out of the fairway bunker through the trees and still finding the putting surface. But speaking of the putting surface, this green has more undulations than just about any green on the golf course.
That's how you play the game, right there. Stick it in close and then knock in the birdie.
Chance for back-to-back.
Well, you're not going to make that putt all the time, but you'd like to at least get it to the hole.
If he keeps putting like that, he's going to be an announcer in no time.
Now to the 11th, par 5.
Good tee shot, and then you certainly think about hitting a hybrid or a lofted fairway wood into this green that's really narrow, one of the narrowest on the golf course. There's a little pot bunker left of this green when you go for 2 that often swallows up that second shot if it's a little bit too conservative. But there's a lake there. Seen more than one ball splash in the pond over the years. looks like it's heading for the bunker.
And into the thicker stuff.
Let's see if he can bludgeon this one out.
Frank, here we go again. Another shot from the rough.
Yeah, let's see if he learned his lesson.
Frank, you played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself, and it's an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit, given the conditions. But once again, this is going to suit the stronger player today.
You like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy?
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze. But down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more.
Shouldn't be a problem here. So, 1 over par for the round. Frank, what's so much fun about TPC Sawgrass is the excitement that it generates for a fan and how many different holes there are. 12 is a good example.
Yeah, 12 looks like it's fresh from Scotland. You can see why Pete Dye spent a lot of time over there. Tee shot looks straight away, but the second shot is blind. The shot you'd get in Scotland with a wedge where you just see the top of the flagstick and you've got to really guesstimate on the yardage that you have. But a good wedge shot and someone that can judge their distance, this is certainly a birdie hole.
From the rough, just a bit to the right though.
The ball always starts where the club face is pointing, and this one just right of the intended line.
Locked in on the read and the speed. So early on the backside here at the 12th hole, missed opportunity. So just a formality here. Did the job right there. Hole number 13 here at Sawgrass, tricky 181-yard par 3.
You don't have to hit directly at this flag. When that flag's at the back there, you can use the contours. When it's on the left, once again, you can use the ridge in the middle of the green. Matter of fact, one of the hardest hole locations is when it's in the front right, because that's when you have to be perfect.
So, dropped the shot after ending up in the water on that recent miscue. Now on to his third shot after the last one went into the water. Frank, which way is this headed?
Well, judging by his body English, looks like it's heading a little right. There is a bit of green out there, though.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. That is a double bogey. Now one of the most demanding holes on this golf course, the 14th, 481-yard par 4.
If you ever want a litmus test at TPC Sawgrass on who's playing well, check the tee shots on 14. If you stripe it down here, you know you're driving the ball well. Too often we see people messing with the mounds on the right. There's always advantage of hitting it further than most, Rich, and straighter than most. When you put the two together, it's just straight up a head start.
Frank, is this one going to be okay?
Yeah, just a little right. Seemed like good contact.
Midway through this back nine, could use this birdie here at the 14th. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Lining this one up for par. 3 over for the day. Just before we get to what they call the gauntlet, 16, 17, and 18, 15 requires all of your attention, doesn't it, Frank?
Personally, I think this is the prettiest hole on the golf course, Rich. I've actually often gone back there and taken pictures. Just a gentle dogleg to the right. You come out of the chute. It seems to be a generous fairway. You just get a little view of the bunker down the right side, but virtually there's no lip there, so that's not a concern. The green, all sorts of weird and wonderful waves on it, well protected by a big bunker on the left, and there's 2 little pot bunkers out on the right that, if your first time around, you might notice.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
Frank had hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
Yeah, you wonder what he's thinking on that.
That is a tremendous shot right there. Touch and nerve, he had it all, and he has the bottom of the barrel. Frank, I think one of the things that fans love about this gauntlet, 16, 17, and 18, each hole has that sort of hold your breath moment. Certainly 17, we know when that ball's in the air, you're holding your breath. Is it wet or dry? 16, same on that second shot. You're holding your breath wondering, where is it? Right in the water or left with a chance for 3?
That's why you don't want to get too sloppy on that tee shot. A lot of people look at 16 because there's a wide fairway and they think just get it down there. But the extra 10 or 15 yards, there's a little ridge down that left side. If you catch that, the ball will kick good 20 yards further forward. 20 yards is too close. I'd much rather go into 17 with a 4-iron than a 2-iron.
And that one ends up about 25 feet from the hole. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. This one's tracking. Oh, he's going to love it. Great putt. Frank, it's the moment that makes it tough, isn't it right?
Yeah, you've made that walk from 16 green. It's 80 yards to the tee here. So as you walk along and if your eyes venture to the right, you see it all in front of you. You see the crowd behind and you realize this is the shortest par 3 on the golf course. But you also, if you think a little too hard, everything that you've seen over the years flashes through your mind.
Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Now one of the more difficult holes in golf. The 18th here at Sawgrass, 462-yard par 4. In 2013, this hole averaged .39 strokes above par. What makes it so challenging, Frank?
Just that big body of water that's to the left of 18 here that's also shared to the right of 9. Not a single fairway bunker on this 18th hole. So really, lack of definition. It's so hard to find a target here.
Frank, it's not about getting the ball close to the hole. From that spot,
Well, he had no chance to get it close. I thought he had very, very, very little chance of getting it on the green. So given that, that was a very good shot.
Never quite had enough oomph on that.
Yeah, sort of a wishy-washy stroke.
Just a couple of feet. Routine stuff for Rory. That's a par. And that does it for us here at TPC Sawgrass. Great day, Frank.
Yeah, a chance for the players to play one of the golf courses that has become so famous over the last 25 to 30 years.
For my partner, Frank Nobilo, and our entire team, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long from the TPC Sawgrass and EA Sports. This is EA Sports PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Located in Charlotte, North Carolina, Quail Hollow was originally designed by the architect George Cobb back in 1961. And Frank, it features one of the most imposing finishing stretches on tour. They call it the Green Mile.
Yeah, 16, 17, and 18. What a great test and a wonderful way to finish this golf course. It has a nice flow to it. Anytime you're in the Carolinas, all these mature trees that really define the fairways. Everything's in front of you. Some greens with certainly a lot of pace out there. You tested every club in the bag. This is a great golf course. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
That is a green in regulation as the approach shot hits the first green. But he is by no means in for par yet. A lengthy putt coming up. Looks like he just misread that. This one just requires a little bit of focus. That's not how you picture it, Frank, when you step on that first tee.
No, you'd like to go back to that first tee right now and start again.
+1 in the early going. Frank, this is a really fun hole, a pretty short par 3 downhill.
Yeah, half a club, you can allow for that, so it won't play its full yardage. You can really see that right part of the green. That's the most inviting one, but when they stick the flag on the left, you really have to be precise.
Certainly had enough power, just didn't have any touch. Set to go, not an easy shot by any means. Solid play, heart of the green. All right, no damage done. Stays at 1 over par with that putt. This is a strong par 4, 452 yards, the third hole. It's a good challenge, Frank.
It is. Big sweeping dogleg left. Actually in a straight line, it's 315, 320 yards to run out. So if you hit the ball further than that, it's going to have to draw. Otherwise, you'll be hitting in the rough on the other side. Still a lengthy shot under there on a green that actually has 3 different levels.
Really good play off the tee, at least 300 yards and in the fairway. Frank, what's the best way to get at this hole location on the approach of the third?
Second shot plays a little bit uphill, plus that general slope from left to right.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
That's costly right there.
Painful.
This would give him a bogey. Slipping just a bit, another bogey, and now 2 over par. Now to the 4th hole here at Quail Hollow, just under 490 yards.
Yeah, they used to have the tee on the right side, which actually made that tee shot very uncomfortable. When they put the new tee box in on the left side, it's a little easier to hit that fairway because that fairway slopes from right to left.
What a drive. Just tattooed that. Frank, as we look at the second shot here at the 4th, what's the best chance for a birdie?
A nice high floating second shot would be the ideal go here, Rich. Just pitching slightly right of the flag, but you cannot afford to miss this green on the right.
Just in the first cut of rough, not a bad lie. The only issue is he might get a jumper here. And from the rough, he manages to not only make the green, but get within easy striking distance of the hole. Shouldn't be a problem here. Par for McIlroy, but you're just waiting for that moment when he hits that accelerator and pulls away. Here we are at the par 5 5th. It's 570 yards. Frank, this should be reachable for most players, don't you think?
Yeah, if you hit a good tee shot, especially with the draw, it will be. But the hardest part of this is judging that kick on the fairway that kicks the ball to the right. And it sort of turns at that awkward area at where the top of your tee shot range. That's where that dog leg is.
So missed the fairway, and now he's back where he needs to be.
Yeah, minimize the problems.
So third shot now for Rory McIlroy. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. That's well played, and now a good look at birdie.
Really. This is that awkward length.
He'll be a bit disappointed he didn't make that. Getting set now over the putt. Well, Frank, you hear it so often. This is a game of dealing with your miscues.
That's the beauty of this game of golf. It giveth and it taketh away.
Frank, this is where you know that players like Bubba Watson, Dustin Johnson, Rory McIlroy are playing a different game than guys like me. They step up to this 250-yard par 3 and they might hit 5-iron. It is a little downhill, but they might be with a middle iron. A lot of us would be with a driver.
Well, you see the advantage of that power on this very hole, not just because of the length they got to hit it, but the green they're heading into. This green slopes off in both directions, right and left, so you have to land that ball in the middle of the green. So, yeah, it's a big advantage if you can go at this hole with like a 5-iron.
Missed on that one, Frank.
Yeah, not a problem.
So a tester from 4 feet. That is a solid par putt. Frank, there's a lot to chew on here as you get to the tee at the 532-yard par 5 7th.
In today's game, 530 plus change you'd think is incredibly short. And look at the trouble in front of you. Water all the way down the right side and around that right side of the green. Bunkers left. This is not for the faint of heart.
That's an absolute tracer right there. In the fairway and well over 320 yards. Not a huge miss, Frank, but did lose this just a little to the right.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to catch a piece of the green, though.
That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. Frank, that's just a really good putt right there.
Yeah, that's why you call lag putting. You get outside a certain distance, and really your mind has to be about two-putting and not trying to be a hero.
Frank, in modern professional golf, we're seeing more and more drivable par 4s, like the 8th here at Quail Hollow, 350 yards. What do you think of this hole?
It's not a bad hole. Drivable, some might say, but the angle of the green means it's hard for that tee shot to keep on the green. But I think the reward for hitting a driver is try and sort of aim at that tree just left of the green. And the reason why is then you've got to pitch up the direction of the green. This is a really narrow green.
There's the approach shot starting to find the rhythm now after that balky beginning.
Yeah, good opportunity here. Flag very much one you can aim at, and especially as they're starting to play well.
That is a really good shot landing close to the flagstick. See if you can get something going here. 2 straight birdies. Oh, I thought he had that. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knocking him for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it's going to hurt the course.
Here we are at the 9th hole at Quail Hollow, 495-yard par 4. Frank, it is the longest par 4 on the golf course. Is it, in your estimation, the toughest?
I think the green stops it from being the toughest, Rich, because it does kick in from either side. But when you see holes like this, there's no surprise why the Rory McIlroys and the Ricky Fellas have won around here. This is just a great driving par 4.
Wow, that is a monster drive down there, about 315 yards. Frank, where's this one headed?
Well, might just catch the left side of the green. Get him the dance floor, but it's going to be a long way away from the band.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Looks like he just misread that. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Rolls in the par putt, stays at +2. On the tee now at the 10th at Quail Hollow, par 5.
Just under 600 yards, so once again the 300-yard plus tee shot gets a big advantage here, as it should on a reachable par 5. A nice little draw off that tee. Keeping it right of the bunkers should be ideal.
Oh, this looks good.
Certainly is.
He just blasted that one down the fairway. Out there about 325 yards. Frank, there's really great history here at Quail Hollow.
Yeah, it's a private members club, Rich. It was founded by James Harris back prior to 1960. We know it hosted the Kemper Open from 69 through to 79, the Payne Weber Invitational from 83 to 89. And now, obviously, it's the host of the Wells Fargo Championship ever since it debuted back in 2003.
And it makes the green in regulation. So, 1 over par for the round. Now to the par 4 11. Frank, what do you think of this hole?
It's an interesting hole, Rich, and I'm curious to see how aggressive players will play here today. The easy way, obviously, is just hit it down the right side and set up a nice second shot with a short iron. Or the most fun way is to take the big stick out and try and bite off as much of that corner as you choose, but be prepared to pay the price should it not come off.
We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
This is a good-looking shot. Early part of this back nine and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie.
It's no snack, though.
Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Routine stuff for Rory. That's a par. Frank, I think the mark of a good golf course design, changing directions. We go from a right to left hole, now at the 12th, to a left to right hole.
Yeah, there's no two holes at Quail Hollow that look the same. And this one's slightly downhill. Fairway tilts a little bit to the right. And it's a bit of a sleeper. And plus you add in on top of that 450 yards plus. This is a fairway that has to be hit.
Very nicely done, right on the dance floor. Locked in on the read and the speed. Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. And he's putting for par now. Just trying to keep this round on track. Has that putt, stays at 1 over. Now to the par 3 13th hole. Frank, this one 210 yards.
Very, very good par 3. This is actually a big green. It's 37 yards deep, but it actually plays small. There's a front right portion, there's a roll-off area in the middle, and there's a roll-off area in the back. So don't be deceived by the size of this green. You better be pitching that tee shot right bang in the middle.
Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
Frank, that's not one you're necessarily thinking about making.
No, just a good putt, though. There's no two ways about that. He's putting well.
Has his par. Well, Frank, as we arrive at the par 4 14th, just 345 yards, our players no doubt are looking for a little advice from a guy who's been there. You've done it at the highest level. What's the right play here?
Rich, after all these years, I think it's like a modified tee shot. And what I'm going to say with that is like a strong 3-wood, something that pitches around 270 and kicks 30 or 40 yards, finishes up about 20 yards short of the green. I think that's the best ploy. You won't be able to get at all the flags, but I think you'll play the hole under par for the week.
When's the right time to pull out the big driver and have a go at this green?
I don't think there is, but maybe you at home should try.
Midway through this back nine, could use this birdie here at the 14th. Tough game, Frank. You can hit 300-yard drives and miss 3-foot putts.
Yeah, there's the ecstasy, and that's the agony.
1 over for the day. Now at the par 5, 15th hole, 577 yards. Frank, you remember what Rory McIlroy did here in 2010, that final round, 62?
I certainly do, Rich. That was an amazing run on the second 9. And holes like this, too. He just stood up here with a driver and just obliterated it down there with a nice draw. Took those bunkers out of play and just set up a mid-iron.
Frank, he could make eagle right here with a really good approach shot.
Yeah, well within his reach, too. And, Rich, if we just sit back and relax here, I think we're going to see perhaps a very good look at eagle coming up.
On the 15th green in regulation, but not yet in the hole. This is about a 30-footer, and he'll look at it from a couple of different angles just to try to get a feel for it. That was not a very good read right there. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. That's a birdie for McIlroy. He's just so explosive. At last, we have arrived at the start of one of the most daunting finishing stretches in all of golf. They call it the Green Mile, 16, 17, and 18 here at Quail Hollow. The 16th is a par 4, 508 yards, Frank.
And this hole was made even more difficult when they pushed that green further left to bring the water more in play with the second shot. I mean, it's a great par 4. It's strong in every single department.
Good-looking shot right here. Frank, it's not about getting the ball close to the hole from that spot.
Well, he had no chance to get it close. I thought he had very, very, very little chance of getting it on the green. So given that, that was a very good shot.
Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Still playing even for the day after the par. Frank, the 17th here at Quail Hollow. It is all you want.
And a bit more, actually. The only advantage the player has is it plays a little bit downhill. But when you look at the lake in front of you, if there's any swirling breeze out there, it just becomes a nightmare trying to choose the right club. And this one starting down the right does not look like it's going to draw back towards the flag.
But it will catch the green. He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. That is an excellent lag putt right there. Had the speed perfectly.
Even par currently.
Workmanlike hole. He walks away with a par. Here we are, the 18th hole at Quail Hollow. Simply put, Frank, a player needs to hit maybe his best tee shot of the day.
I would agree with you, Rich. If you were to measure this hole from trees on the left to trees on the right, it's actually a really wide fairway or expansive land. But that creek that just meanders its way through the middle of this hole completely changes the nature of this hole. And consequently, you hit the nail on the head. If you don't hit a good tee shot, you will rack up something here. And I've got no idea how big it would be.
Great way to finish off the final approach shot with a birdie opportunity. Long putt here. This will require a good touch. It's a good looking putt right here. I might like it. What a beautiful roll right there. Dead center. Another thriller from here at Quail Hollow in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. And for all of us here at EA Sports, so long until next time. Now to the finishing hole here at Quail Hollow. Frank, what can we expect?
If there was a name for this hole, Rich, it should be called Narrows. The creek that meanders its way down the left side and actually divides that hole into really half the size of what a normal par 4 should be. That makes it hard. The bunker on the right is your bailout area, just over 290 yards to get past that, and then the narrowest green that still sits up against the lake. This is just a brutal finish.
This is EA Sports, PGA Tour coverage coming your way. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo, calling all the action for EA Sports. We're at Quail Hollow in Charlotte, North Carolina. And Frank, what makes this such a good test?
It's got a great flow to it, Rich. Holes that bend in both directions, changes of elevation. A phenomenal finish that's named the Green Mile, which is 16, 17, and 18. Some reachable par 5s. Players have gone low here as well. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there's plenty of opportunities. It's just a great blend, Rich.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
And this will be a 5-foot putt here. And so just getting started. Even par so far. Frank, this is a really fun hole. A pretty short par 3 downhill.
Yeah, half a club. You can allow for that, so it won't play its full yardage. You can really see that right part of the green. That's the most inviting one. But when they stick the flag on the left, you really have to be precise.
So on the putting surface and taking a good look now at this birdie putt here at the second. He has this for a birdie.
That was a good run at it, Rich.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Oh, I thought he had that. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. So with that, 1 over par. This is a strong par 4, 452 yards, the third hole. It's a good challenge, Frank.
It is. Big sweeping dogleg left. Actually in a straight line. It's 315, 320 yards to run out. So if you hit the ball further than that, it's going to have to draw. Otherwise you'll be hitting the rough on the other side. Still a lengthy shot under there on a green that actually has 3 different levels.
Let's see what McIlroy does now with his second. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now we'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here. Another good swing, another good approach shot.
Solid effort and reasonable result to stay at 1 over par. Frank, this is a muscular par 4 here at just under 490 yards, the 4th at Quail Hollow. A difficult proposition.
It is, but fortunately that tee shot plays a little downhill. But one of the difficulties with the tee shot is the fairway kicks from right to left. So it needs a good one to keep it on the fairway, and another green that has 3 different levels.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special. This looks like it's going to find the target. This one just inside 30 feet. Certainly you wouldn't call that close.
On the computer, it registers at 29 feet. That may have been a bit too much to ask for there, that distance putt, Frank.
Yeah, it's fine to be greedy before you hit the putt, but after you've hit it, 2 from that distance is fine.
That's a nice confidence builder right there. You make those for par, and you keep things steady. Now to the first par 5 here at Quail Hollow, the 5th hole. It's 570 yards, and it would seem, Frank, that this tee shot sets up well for a guy like Rory McIlroy.
It does. Someone that hits it long and moves the ball right to left, and that's what you're going to have to do here. One of the main reasons for that is not necessarily the dog leg, but the fact that the fairway, Rich, slopes away from you. It slopes to the right and away, so that makes that tee shot so much more difficult.
That one is in the bunker, about 99 yards to the hole. This is going to be a tough day on the links. I mean, even the seagulls are walking to work. On the green, and a chance for birdie. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. Locked in on the read and the speed. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Now set to tee off at the 6th. It is a long par 3, 250 yards.
We could take a little bit off for the downhill, but whichever way you look at it, it's still going to be a beefy par 3. Protected on the left by that front bunker, and if you sort of scoot one long, there's another bunker over there as well.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up? It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
So he didn't hit the green in regulation, but he still has a reasonably good chance to save his par, about 10 feet away. I thought that was in.
Yeah, it looked good. I mean, line, pace, it's hard to be critical of that.
Just 5 feet left. So, 2 over par for the round. Well, Frank, an eagle is in play here at the par 5-7.
And a 6, and a 7, and an 8, or a 9, actually. This is a potential scorecard record, the 7th hole. Many a tee shot has found that creek on the right, trees, problems on the left. There's no question there's a reward for a good tee shot here. But then there's a decision on do you go for this par 5 and 2. It's not overly long, just over 530 yards. It is very tempting.
And a chance for eagle after that perfectly played shot.
It's no snack, though.
You hate to miss the short ones. Ouch. And he's putting for birdie now. So, 1 over par for the round. Frank, I love a drivable par 4. In the modern power game, it really adds an element of excitement. And here we go at the 350-yard par 4/8.
Well, you're definitely going to love this one then, Rich, because it ticks all the boxes here. There's no water in play, just a few bunkers down the left and the one that protects the right side of the green. And you've got a really narrow green, so plenty of reward with minimal risk.
Not a long shot here into the 8th, but Frank, this approach is still pretty challenging.
Yeah, this is a very narrow green with 4 different levels, so you can either go low, try and skip it up there, or just sort of grab a lofted wedge and try and land it and keep it on the same tier.
Has it, and that is birdie number 2 for the round. Frank, this is a really good way to finish out the front side here at Quail Hollow. 495-yard par 4.
Yeah, it's the longest par 4 at Quail Hollow. Some say it might be the toughest. I'm not quite in that camp. And the reason why, that green slopes in from both sides, the left and the right. But you can see why good drivers have done well here, because there's a big reward for thumping a big, long, straight drive down here.
Frank, looks like he came over just a little bit.
Yeah, that one wasn't pretty, but it's still gonna get away with it.
This is a cross-country special. Always 2 components to the long lag putt, the speed, number 1, and then the read. And missed out on that second part. Par for McIlroy, but you're just waiting for that moment when he hits that accelerator and pulls away. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports, back at Quail Hollow, getting set to kick off the backside. And the 10th is a good par 5, Frank.
It certainly is. Hole bends a little to the left. There's the bunkering down that left side that you've got to keep slightly right of. Second shot plays ever so slightly downhill to a rather narrow green. And if anything, you want to favour that left side.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
Oh my goodness, he just made that. I cannot believe it.
I was thinking he might get it close. In? Just a great shot.
Back here at the par 4 11th at Quail Hollow, set to tee off. What's the right game plan here, Frank?
Oh, there's 2 really. That left bunker off the tee, it's about 265 yards to get it on the fairway, or 308 yards, 310 yards run out there. I've seen players just try and carry the bunker, sort of set up a short iron, and I've seen players like Rory just try and blast a driver with a hook on it. Both strategies have worked.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Well done, and 3 under for the day. Par 4 12th here at Quail Hollow, 456 yards. Frank, break it down for us.
Well, there's no fairway bunkers either side, so you feel like there's nothing to work the ball off, and consequently it's very easy to sneak it in the rough on the left or the right. And then that makes that second shot so much more difficult going up the hill. This is one hole that you have to pick a line on. You really have to know the line off the tee. There's a nice big tree down there in the distance. That's the one you want to work it off.
And as he strides up here to the 12th green, having hit it in regulation, he knows now that his work is by no means done. A long putt coming up. Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, a little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important that this one goes in.
Just a couple of feet. Now at -2 for the day. Now the par 3 13th hole. Frank, this one 210 yards.
Very, very good par 3. This is actually a big green. It's 37 yards deep, but it actually plays small. There's a front right portion, there's a roll-off area in the middle, and there's a roll-off area in the back. So Don't be deceived by the size of this green. You better be pitching that tee shot right bang in the middle.
Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. He can really get red hot with a putter. Let's see what McIlroy does. Good, solid par right there. Well, now we come to the really interesting 345-yard par 4 14th. Frank, I'm thinking that if you're leading, you're probably not going to try to drive this and take on the risk with the water on the left. But if you're behind, you have a chance to make up some ground.
Yeah, I have it written in my yardage book, Rich, on this hole. Only good and bad things happen with the driver. Nothing in between.
So in the first cut here, it could be worse.
I mean, this skill, and that was sublime.
Just good hands, coming out of the rough, able to manage the distance, and now in great position. Good putt, now at -3. Now as we arrive at the par 5 15th hole here at Quail Hollow, 577 yards, Frank, I think a player has to be thinking about doing what Rory McIlroy did in 2010.
It's the last of the holes that you can really be aggressive on, Rich. So a good drive down here. I'm well aware of the fact that there's water on the left. This is a good chance to make something happen before you play the green mile.
And that's what McIlroy did. Hit a tracer, then a 5-iron, knocked it in for eagle, shot 62, and won for the first time on the PGA Tour. Out of the sand and back on the fairway.
Yeah, good shot. Just really utilized that little bit between the ears. Realized he couldn't reach the green, and instead opted for fairway.
Frank, you hate to miss the green on a par 5 with your third shot.
Well, they say par 5s are the easiest holes to birdie, but the hardest holes to make 4. Making a 6, though, well, that certainly sets yourself backwards. So tough up and down.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Routine stuff for Rory. That's a par. At last, we have arrived at the start of one of the most daunting finishing stretches in all of golf. They call it the Green Mile, 16, 17, and 18 here at Quail Hollow. The 16th is a par 4, 508 yards, Frank.
And this hole was made even more difficult when they pushed that green further left to bring the water more in play with the second shot. I mean, it's a great par 4. It's strong in every single department.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Pretty good stroke right there. Just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
Keeps the momentum going with that putt. Stays at 3 under. Just 2 holes remaining here at Quail Hollow in Charlotte, North Carolina. This is the signature par 3, 221 yards, the 17th.
And they have a multitude of tees here. One of the new back tees is actually where the old 16th green was. And if you think don't go left is the way to play, then that won't work either, because right's not that much good. This is it. Stand on the tee, and you better hit a good shot. We often say, Rich, you should always try and make it. I got to disagree with that. Lag putting, it's just about taking the strain off the next one. There's always other holes to be played.
From that distance, you settle for 2 putts. Here we are, the 18th hole at Quail Hollow. Simply put, Frank, a player needs to hit maybe his best tee shot of the day.
I would agree with you, Rich. If you were to measure this hole from trees on the left to trees on the right, it's actually a really wide fairway or expansive land. But that creek that just meanders its way through the middle of this hole completely changes the nature of this hole. And consequently, you hit the nail on the head. If you don't hit a good tee shot, you will rack up something here. And I've got no idea how big it would be.
Frank had hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he's thinking on that. Not a problem there, Rich.
Just a little tap in here. Did the job right there. That'll wrap it up from here in the tower at Quail Hollow. I'm Rich Lerner. For Frank Nobilo and all of us here at EA Sports, thank you for playing along, and we'll see you next time.